Hey, how are we all doing? I'm Andy, thanks for coming back. This is Spiders. So if you're new here and this is the first time you're watching, I hope that you enjoy what you see and you consider hitting the subscribe button, which will be somewhere down there. Today, it's just a few updates really. Run you through a few things that have gone on sort of over the last few weeks. Couple of updates on some of the recent videos. So yeah, I'll sort of crack on with it. So the first update is, you'll see here, this is my Monocentropus balfouri female, and as you see she's dropped an egg sac. So this little bit of footage was taken, I think this is about 18 days. This egg sac's been sat there now. She's still sat on it, she's still guarding it, so hopefully at some point soon we will get some little baby balfs. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a result of the breeding that I did with the mature male I pulled out of my communal. So yeah, that's quite a result. Now I'm going to move on now. The next thing I'm going to speak about is my Haplopelma doriae female that you might have seen in a video a couple of months ago that I had from the spider shop. Now she's recently moulted, as you can see in this picture, and you may remember she'd lost a pedipalp before she arrived. She only had one pedipalp, so that's now regenerated and she's looking good, apart from, I've noticed since she moulted in the 2 weeks since, she's developed a growth on her abdomen. Now if I'm honest, it hasn't really affected her behaviour. This is a feeding, a little feeding clip where I gave her, this is actually the first feeding after her molt. You see she's looking really good, apart from that lump on the side. So I'm not sure what it is, whether it's an abscess, whether it's a parasite or what. I'm just sort of keeping a close eye on it at the moment. There you go, you can get a really good close-up of it there and see just what it's like. But as I say, it doesn't seem to be really affecting none of her behaviours. She's fed okay. She's webbing okay, as you can see here, and you'll see as this sort of clip rolls on, it's not really affecting her capabilities to hunt. So yeah, anyway, that's an update on the H doriae. I'm just going to shut up now for a minute or so and let yous have a look at it. So yeah, next update I've got for you involves the Poecilotheria or Pokilotheria striata adult female that I recently had the egg sac from. Well, she's had an upgrade, as you can see here. She's now been moved into a big Exoterra, 18 inch tall by 12 inches by 12 inches. You see, there's just a quick shot of that enclosure. I've planted this one up. It's a bioactive setup. I planted up with some ivy. This is actually an ivy plant I had from my mother-in-law when she moved house a year ago, or at the beginning of lockdown, so about 18 months ago. Finally found a use for it. Now, a normal hiding place is behind this cork bark that you can see on the right hand side, but she does like to come out and have a bit of a stroll round, and quite often sits on that cork bark. It's just on the left side that you can see now. And there we have a shot of her at the top of that bark, and another one here just shows just how good the markings act as camouflage. There again. So while we're on the subject of the P. striata, you may remember I did a video just detailing how things had gone, the journey really from egg stage and the egg sac through to sling stage with the babies. Well, the next few minutes is just basically a little time lapse of me when it came to potting them all up. If I'm honest, it wasn't as stressful as I thought it might be. I did have people on guard in case I needed them to deal with any runaway slings, but if I'm totally honest, I didn't have any. They all behaved really well. They were all in the tub that they were all in beforehand. I separated them, as you'll see. I separated them all without any real sort of stress. So yeah, I'll just show you the footage. Cheers. So yeah, this is me. I think by this point I'd actually already housed quite a few of them. And you see, once the focus comes in, you see a little striata slings in their pots. This was a good few weeks ago now. I have sold some of these since this time. I've also given a few away. But yeah, if anybody is interested, then drop me a message on Facebook. This is where they all were. This is the little pot I put them all into as a nursery once they actually reach that sling stage. So yeah, here we are. This is me, just one at a time. What I actually did is I counted, or I got together, I think it was 75 little pots prepped. I wasn't fully sure exactly how many I was going to need. I think it was 66 that were left. I had already sold a few at this point, but yeah, I think it was 66 that I ended up rehousing. Now this is me dealing. There was about 15-20 that hadn't actually molted out to sling stage when I sorted all the others out, so I'd left them in their original nursery pot, and this is just me taking them out and getting them ready and sorted. And you'll see there, this is just the mat of webbing and all the old molts that came from it. There is a couple, as you can see. I think there's about 3 or 4 that filled in moult and that are lost. I'm not fully sure why. It may have been cannibalism, if I'm honest. I did see a couple of cases of cannibalism, and that was why I chose to separate them all up, if I'm honest. this here, this was the one sole sling that didn't molt out, so he stayed in his little pot. And there we have all of them all prepped already. So some of these have gone since this was filmed. Now this is just a little time lapse of me feeding some of them. This was, in some cases this was the first feed, in others it was the second. And yeah, again, if I'm honest, it wasn't too stressful. Load of micro crickets in the top of in the bottom of a beaker, and then just fed each one individually. You can see there that one is well tucking in. And that sling that didn't molt, well, he did in the end. And this is him. He's called Daryl, and he's one of the ones that I'll be keeping for myself. So yeah, that's it. A few updates. Hope that you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you do, like it, share it, all that sort of stuff. If you're not subscribed and you want to consider it, you know where the button is. And yeah, I'll see you all next week. Cheers. Ta-da.